Community Salutes Dallas event. I'm Richard Conness. I'm the chairman of the Our Community Salutes DFW chapter. There's about 50, 60 chapters nationwide. And like I said, I'm the chairman of the thing. Up on the screen next, on every table, there's a tent card with a QR code. If you want to download the digital program, go to that website, download it, and you've got it forever. So, or you can scan it on the screen. Since 2009, OCS enlistee recognition ceremonies have been held and started at initially 20 states. We're now at about 25, 26. We're growing as we can by local communities with tens of thousands of people attending in appreciation of the young men and women of OCS entering military service. Our local organization was founded in October of 2020, right in the middle of COVID, after a request from the Army Recruiting Command that January to set up an OCS military service in our area. This is a fun evening, but I just want to give you kind of an idea. All the recruiting commands in our area are the largest for their services in the nation. So the Army's the largest battalion, the Navy's the largest, everybody's the largest one, because our geographic space for most of the recruiting commands goes from usually Louisiana, Arkansas borders to Midland, Odessa, and just north of Fort Hood to the Red River. And the Air Force even has the state of Oklahoma. So it's a large territory. So we got a lot of people. Thus, we end up doing two events. We do a Dallas event, and then we do a Fort Worth event. So, but it's a fun evening, and we honor our men and women who are going to start their journey to support and defend our Constitution and protect our country. If you've got a cell phone, please mute it or turn it off if you can. I want to thank Parker University for all their help in making this event happen. All this is donated. We pay for the food because that's different, but they give us all their AV people, all their people and stuff, security. Thanks for doing it. Okay, we like them. We're also one of the few chapters doing a video live stream at the same time. So if you go onto our website and you can either go on a YouTube or a Facebook Live right now. So, and then like I said, we do two cities. So our next event is in Fort Worth on the 28th of March. If you want to go over 28th of March, it's at the I Am Terra Auditorium. You get another free lunch. It's a good day. So each enlistee, Marine Corps poolee, and Guardian will receive a USAA challenge coin. You're going to see that. And then, or a poker chip from the Air and Space Force Association. So they're going to get that tonight. You'll be coming up on stage to receive that from your group. Also at all the seats is a constitutional booklet that, and then you'll receive an Our Community Salute certificate either tonight or you've already been given that. So we've got basically 6 recruiting commands here today: Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, Air Force, Space Force. So we got 6 of the 8. The only 2 that aren't here are the Texas Guard and Texas Air Guard, but we got 6 of the 8. And between them, there's about 89 enlistees, guardians, and poolees. So that's a good-sized crowd for us, and we like that. But to give you a little history, let me show you something. So this is what a challenge coin looks like. And it's widely known. It's a small coin or a medallion bearing usually the organization's insignia or an emblem carried by the organizational members. Traditionally, they might be given as proof of membership of that organization, or they might be used just as a thank you event type of deal. And it was also used as a challenge for proofing within that unit and to enhance morale. They're also collected by a lot of service members. I probably have a couple hundred scattered around my house, and my 5-year-old grandson scatter them all over the house, so they like them. But the challenge coin is presented by usually the unit commanders in recognition of special achievements by a member of the unit. They can also be exchanged in recognition of visits to other organizations. But I'll be right up front. This is normally used as a drinking challenge, so just get that through your mind. So, but you need to know the rules. Part of the thing is you got to know the rules to play the game. Rule of the coin game must, must be given or explained to all new coin member holders. That's going to be you guys tonight. You must always carry one. It's always depending on your person. You can be challenged by anyone, anywhere, at any time. When challenged, the challenger must state whether it's for a single drink or a round of drinks. Failure to produce a coin, thus keep it on all the time, for whatever reason, it's in my other pants, not too bad, results in a round of singles or the whole group you got to buy. But if you answer the challenge and you produce your coin, then the challenger loses and he or she must buy the drinks for all respondents. So it can be very expensive if you're challenging people. So tonight we've got our special guest is our MC, Scott Murray. He spent 3 decades with NBC television as a multi-Emmy award-winning TV host, anchor, and broadcast journalist. He's been recognized as a living legend of journalism by the Press Club of Dallas and a recipient of the prestigious Silver Circle Lifetime Achievement Award from the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. He's presently the CEO of Murray Media, a television production company, and owns with his son Doug. The company has events, AV, virtual shows, streaming, podcasts, filming studios, and he's very active as a keynote speaker within his Leadership America message, creating champions of change through a culture of civility. Several years ago, Scott and his son Doug went to Normandy, France for the 70th anniversary of the D-Day invasion. They were accompanied by 10 veterans from the invasion and filmed a documentary. That earned them their first of multiple Emmy Awards. The following year, Doug and Scott went to Pearl Harbor and filmed their second award-winning Emmy for their documentary on the Pearl Harbor attack. I want you to give everybody a round of applause as Scott comes up to the stage. Come on up, Scott.
Well, certainly my thanks to the Colonel for that nice introduction, and certainly thanks to all of you for being here. For those of you that have never been a part of this, I assure you, having been involved for a number of years, this is very special. I salute you all, those that have served and those that are getting ready to be a part of our armed forces. I'm delighted to be a part of this. I just salute you all and say thank you for letting me be a part of something that is, well, last year I did 369 events, either speaking or emceeing. And this is one of my favorites. It's the young men and women that we will salute tonight, and you'll have a chance to meet, who are making the commitment that they will move forward in our armed forces and keep us all out of harm's way in the years to come. So I can't thank you enough for the commitment that you're about to make. That said and done, I've also been asked to, as you heard earlier tonight, the live streaming of this is all underway already. How about that? On Facebook and LinkedIn, and all you've got to do, the presentation itself, is go to Facebook or LinkedIn and type in Veterans Impact Show. And then just follow the instructions that will appear, and you can call your friends and neighbors and relatives and whatever and let them know what you're a part of here tonight. So that said and done, we are ready to move forward with the show, and we're really excited to have you all here today. We're going to begin the ceremony as we normally do by asking everyone to please stand for the presentation of our colors, and that will be followed by our national anthem, and it'll be sung. And of course, the color guard will then retire off the stage. And after the color guard has departed, we will also have a prayer. And we are going to ask at that time, everyone will be seated and we will move on with our program. But right now, I'm going to ask Lola Chabot and Jim Blythe to please join me here on the stage for the presentation of our... Now presenting the colors, Lake Highlands High School, Junior ROTC Color Guard. Tonight's color guard is under the supervision of Lieutenant Colonel retired Robert Gerald, United States Army. Lola, who is about to share with us our national anthem, is a junior in high school. She was involved with the Miss Texas Scholarship Organization from 2022 to 2024, and believe it or not, has over 1,000 hours of community service. One of her favorite ways to volunteer is simply by helping at local theaters and leading worship music in her youth group. She loves singing, acting, certainly traveling to speech and debate tournaments for her school, where she has qualified for the state tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, as we prepare for our national anthem, I welcome and introduce to you all Ms. Lola Chabot.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well done, Lola. Thank you so very, very much, my dear. That was wonderful. It's great to have you here today. And also, just behind me is a gentleman that is certainly no stranger to this event. His name is Jim Blythe, and he's going to share with us our invocation. He's a native Texan, grew up here in the great city of Dallas, Texas, attended SMU before joining the Navy as a third-generation U.S. Navy family. He had 3 combat tours of Vietnam, part of VA 163 Attack Squadron, the HC-1 Hilo Search and Rescue. And upon finishing his Navy tour, he received his degree at the University of Texas in finance. He's had a radio career, started at the age of 16, announced at high school and college football games of the Armed Forces Radio on board USS Oriskany. Returned to radio in 1994 on Dallas KRLD and Houston KLIF. His current Veterans Impact show is carried on networks all across America. He attended Dallas Theological Seminary. He's an author, talk show host, counselor, ordained chaplain, and a great friend to us all. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jim Blythe for our invocation.
Would you please bow your head and join me in prayer? Lord God of the universe, we come to you in humility and thanks for this wonderful event, and bless Parker College and bless all of the people who have put this together. Dear God, we know you're putting a great blessing and a great opportunity in front of these young men and women who are about to join the world's greatest organization. Dear God, we thank you for these young men and women and we put a hedge of protection around them. We thank you, dear God, for our active duty military and our reserves and our first responders, those that run into the fire instead of away from it. And dear God, thank you for our veterans who are working to bring this nation back together. One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In your holy name we pray, amen.
Lola and Jim, thank you very, very much. Delighted to. Let's put our hands together one final time for both of them. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Well, coming up to the stage momentarily is Captain Lena Kamen. Captain Lena graduated from the University of Wisconsin-Madison back in May of 2000. She completed flight school in Pensacola, Florida, where she earned her wings of gold as a helicopter pilot in March of 2002. She recently served as the commanding officer of the Naval Air Station, Joint Reserve Base, New Orleans. She is the commander of Navy Reserve Region Southeast Readiness and Mobilization Command here in Fort Worth. Captain Kamen has earned her Master's of Aeronautical Science from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, as well as a Master's of National Security and Strategic Studies from the Naval War College in Newport, Rhode Island. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Captain Lena Kamen.
Good evening. That doesn't sound like the response of a group of brand new recruits. Good evening. All right, that's better. It is truly an honor to be with you tonight. What an exciting, exciting occasion. When I look across this room, I don't just see high school seniors or folks that maybe graduated last year. I see future leaders. I see men and women who have already made a decision that sets you apart. You chose service, you chose commitment, you chose something bigger than yourself. And to the families and loved ones who are here, parents, grandparents, siblings, friends, I want you to know this: your pride is earned. Your quiet sacrifices matter. And today belongs to you just as much as it belongs to the students and to the new recruits, the future service members sitting before me. Let's give the families and loved ones who are here in a support role, let's give them a big round of applause, please. As I stand here watching you on the edge of what comes next, I cannot help but think back to the moment I first raised my hand and chose to serve. I was talking with my parents up in Wisconsin, where I grew up, and wondering how we'd pay for college and what I wanted to do. And my mom gave me a pile of papers, a pile of scholarship applications. I didn't really realize one of those was for the military. I didn't realize one was for the Reserve Officer Training Corps. But the next thing I knew, I had been signed up to go to Navy Reserve Officer Training Corps at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And I can remember my emotions, very mixed emotions. Pride, yes. Excitement, absolutely. But also uncertainty, questions. I was thinking to myself, am I ready for this? And what have I gotten myself into? Some of you are probably feeling that way now. In fact, I tried to talk to as many of you as I could, and I know some of you told me that. You are stepping into the unknown, leaving what is familiar, saying goodbye to comfort and routine, and that takes a lot of courage. What you are doing is not common. In fact, less than 1% of Americans choose to serve in uniform. That means that out of every 100 people in the country, you are the ones who have stepped forward. You are joining a long, unbroken line of Americans who believed that freedom is not free and that leadership is earned through service. Every generation has been shaped by those who answered the call, from Lexington and Concord to Normandy to Saigon to Fallujah, to the flight decks and flight lines and command centers of today. You are now part of that story. And that story is bigger than any single branch, bigger than any rank, and bigger than any one of us. Some of you will drive tanks, some of you will maintain aircraft, run logistics, operate cyber systems, or provide medical care in places most Americans will never see. But all of you will be entrusted with something precious, the lives of others and the defense of our nation. Let me tell you briefly who I am and why I believe so deeply in what you are about to do. For the last year and a half, I have had the privilege of serving as the Commodore of Navy Reserve Region Readiness and Mobilization Command Fort Worth. My command is located at Naval Air Station Joint Reserve Base Fort Worth, which some of you may know as the old Carswell Air Force Base. My command is responsible for the readiness and mobilization of all the Navy Reserve reservists across a 7-state area. The Navy's Reserve, which we call our citizen sailors, they're trained, ready, and able to answer the call when our nation needs it. But I didn't start here. You heard a little bit of my bio. I started exactly where you are. And even though you heard me say it wasn't necessarily a decision I made knowingly, I was influenced by my parents, and it wasn't a total decision in my control, I have absolutely deliberately chosen to stay tour after tour, year after year, to now having almost 26 years in the United States Navy. I bleed red, white, and blue. If I could speak directly to my younger self, the version of me sitting where you are tonight, I would tell her this: seek advice from someone who's just a little bit ahead of you. So you all are about to go to boot camp. Maybe you have a friend, a family member who has been to boot camp in the last year or two. Ask that person for advice. Once you finish boot camp and you know what your skill set is going to be, seek out someone who's just a little bit ahead of you. Make sure you talk to them, ask them what their lessons learned were, ask them how they're excelling. I can remember when I first got to flight school and was just given a whole stack of publications and books. I didn't even know where to begin. And thankfully, someone pulled me aside and they said, "Are you ready for your first flight? Do you know what you have to do?" And I'm like, "No, I have no idea." And so they showed me how to use the book, how to look up, how to see all the things I had to study for that first flight. So I urge you to always be looking for someone who can be your mentor and walk you through the next steps. Here's the truth I want you to hear clearly today. Like I just said, you do not need to have everything figured out to begin. You just need the courage to take the first step and learn from those who have already been there. The military will shape you in ways you cannot yet imagine. It will challenge you. It will demand more of you than you think you have to give. And then, when you least expect it, it will show you just how capable you truly are. Through my service, I have gained lifelong friendships forged under pressure. I have gained confidence born from responsibility, and I have gained leadership experience that no classroom could ever replicate. At the age of 26, I was a helicopter aircraft commander, responsible for flying a multi-million-dollar aircraft and leading my crew. Not many of my high school friends can say the same thing. Same with you. You will have stories that your friends will never have. You will be trusted early. You will be expected to lead before you feel ready. And that is by design, because leadership is not about age, it is about character. And along the way, there will be adventure. Oh, the fun and exciting times you will have. There will be moments when you stand somewhere far from home and realize you are part of something global and historic. Moments when you accomplish something difficult and realize you are stronger than you believed. Moments when you look to your left and your right and know the people beside you would do anything for you and you for them. They are your family away from family. You will belong to a team that wears the same uniform, carries the same values, and understands sacrifice in a way few others will. And to the families here today, let me say again, your sons and daughters are in good hands. They will be trained, mentored, challenged, yes, but also supported. They will grow into leaders you will be proud to call your own. Service will give you a deep and abiding pride that lasts long after the uniform comes off. Years from now, when someone asks you what you did, you will not just answer with the job title. You will say, I served. And that will mean something. I am proud of the sailors I lead today. I am proud of the uniform I wear, and I am proud of the legacy that you are now stepping into. You are the next generation of Americans willing to stand in that 1%, willing to lead from the front, and willing to put service before self. As you move forward, remember this: the oath you are about to take in a little bit is not just words. It is a promise to each other, to your families, and to a nation that believes in you. I will leave you with these words from President Ronald Reagan, words that still echo through generations of those who serve. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. It has to be fought for and defended by each generation. Today, that responsibility passes on to you. Stand tall, serve with honor, lead with courage, and welcome to the proud tradition of service in the United States of America. Thank you.
Captain Kamen, thank you so much. Thank you for your commitment, and certainly thank you for your service and the great words of wisdom that you've shared with all of our future members of our armed forces. Ladies and gentlemen, as we move on, I'd like to introduce to you our next speaker, Command Master Chief Sean Bohannon, a native of New York City. Joined the Navy in September of 1997. Completed Aviation Electronics Technician A School in Pensacola, Florida in June of 1998. His other duty assignment include deployment multiple times in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. He was the senior enlisted leader at Fleet Readiness Center, Mid-Atlantic Detachment, Washington, Naval Air Facility, Washington, Joint Base Andrews, Maryland, and he is the current senior enlisted leader at Navy Reserve Region Readiness and Mobilization Command, Fort Worth, in October of 2022, 4 years ago. Master Chief Bohannon's academic achievements include a certificate in leadership, an associate's degree in electronics technology, a bachelor's degree in organizational management, and a Master of Science in leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Command Master Chief Sean Bohannon.
Future warriors, look around you. Take a good look at the men and women in this room. You have all just made one of the most powerful decisions of your lives. You have sworn an oath and earned the title of United States soldier, sailor, airman, or Marine. You are now part of a legacy that is woven into the very fabric of our nation. A legacy of courage, sacrifice, and unwavering strength. Now let's get one thing straight. You are not just starting a job. You are stepping into a story that has been unfolding for nearly 250 years. For over 90% of our nation's history, the men and women just like you have stood on the front lines. Think about that. While America has only formally declared war 5 times, we have been in a near constant state of military action. From the revolution to the modern battlefields of today, the enlisted service member has always been the backbone, the beating heart of the United States Armed Forces. That legacy began with the Continental Army, with the privates and the sergeants who endured brutal winters at Valley Forge, who fixed bayonets and charged into the smoke. It was carried forward by the enlisted forces who held the line at Gettysburg, who stormed the beaches of Normandy, and who raised that iconic flag on Iwo Jima. Now that torch is being passed to you. It is not some abstract idea. It is in the uniform you will wear, the training you will endure, and the oaths you will take. The question is no longer if you will be a part of this history. The question is, what would your chapter look like? Your first years in the service are a golden opportunity. This is your chance to build the foundation for the rest of your lives. I am giving you your first strategic mission with 4 objectives for personal victory. First, build your fire team for life. Look at the people you go through basic training or boot camp with. The ones you will struggle with, sweat with, and succeed with. These are not just your buddies. These will be your new family. These people will have your back no matter what. In 10 years, that specialist you share the duty roster with will be the connection to your dream job. That corporal who inspects your gear could be your future business partner. Hold on to these bonds. They will be your most valuable assets. Second, embrace the challenges and forge your character. You are going to be pushed harder than you ever thought possible. You will be tired, you will be tested, and you will want to quit. Don't. Every difficult task, every early morning, every moment of pressure will be forging you into something more. You will learn discipline, resilience, and how to lead from the front. These are skills that separate warriors from the crowd. These will be the experiences that make you invaluable, both in and out of uniform. Third, weaponize your mind. The military doesn't just want your strength, it wants your smarts. From day one, you have access to educational benefits that most people would pay a fortune for. Use your tuition assistance. Find out what certifications your MSO and NECs qualifies you for. Ask your NCOs about CLEP exams. A private with a plan and a thirst for knowledge is more powerful than a general without one. Your mind is your greatest weapon. Sharpen it daily. Finally, secure your financial high ground. You are earning a steady paycheck, and you will have access to one of the best retirement plans on the planet, the Thrift Savings Plan. Start contributing to it now. Even a small amount from each paycheck will grow into a mountain over time, thanks to compounded interest and government matching. Learn to manage your money. It is critical to your survival. It gives you freedom, power, and control over your own destiny. You are at the very beginning of an incredible journey. You stand on the shoulders of giants. Honor their legacy by building your own. Build your network, forge your character, sharpen your mind, and secure your future. Welcome to the brother and sisterhood of arms. Now go out there and earn your place in history.
Our thanks to Command Master Chief Sean Bohannon. Once again, words of commitment. He's been there, he's done it. We thank him for his service and all the information he just shared with you. I certainly hope that you'll take it home and digest it and remember it always. Ladies and gentlemen, we are most honored that President George W. Bush was able to make and be a part of our presentation this evening. George W. Bush, 43rd President of the United States, sworn into office back on January 20th of 2001, and then re-elected on November 2nd, 2004, sworn in for a second term in office, January 20th of 2005. Now, prior to his presidency, President Bush served for 6 years as the 46th governor of the great state of Texas, where he earned a reputation for bipartisanship and as a compassionate conservative who shaped public policy based on the principles of limited government, personal responsibility, strong families, and local control. He received a bachelor's degree in history from Yale University in 1968 and then served as an F-102 fighter pilot in the Texas Air National Guard. President Bush received a Master of Business Administration from Harvard Business School back in 1975. Ladies and gentlemen, please watch the video screen as I present to you President George W. Bush.
Greetings. Laura and I salute you and your families on your decision to wear the uniform of the United States of America. What you will do is important, courageous, and selfless. I continue to be in awe of Americans' willingness to volunteer in the face of uncertainty and danger. Thank you for making the noble choice to serve and protect your fellow Americans. Our nation respects you and trusts you. We'll pray for you, and we thank you. May God bless you, and may God continue to watch over the United States military.
We certainly thank President Bush for taking the time to share all of that with each and every one of you. And we're also most honored tonight that Governor Greg Abbott was able to make a presentation as well. Named Best Governor in the entire nation in 2020, Governor Abbott continues to build on his record as a strong conservative leader who fights to preserve Texas's values and ensure that the Lone Star State remains the best place to raise a family, build a business, and create greater opportunity for us all. Before his election, over 10 years ago, back in 2014, as the 48th governor of Texas, Greg Abbott was the 50th Attorney General of Texas, earning a national reputation for defending religious liberty and protecting Texas communities and children. He also previously served as a justice on the Texas Supreme Court and as a state district judge in Harris County. He's a native of Texas, avid sportsman and hunter. Governor Abbott was born in Wichita Falls and raised in nearby Duncanville. And after graduating from the University of Texas at Austin, he earned a law degree from Vanderbilt University Law School. Once again, we ask you to watch the video screen.
Hi, this is Governor Greg Abbott. On behalf of the entire state of Texas, I want to recognize the young men and women who have made the courageous decision to protect and to defend our great nation and the United States Armed Forces. America remains the greatest nation in the history of the world because of our dedicated service members who devote their lives to preserving the freedom and sovereignty of our country. I also want to thank the veterans here today who have served our nation and continue to support the military leaders of tomorrow. The state of Texas has your back, and we are grateful for your service and your sacrifice. Thank you again to the new enlistees, veterans, recruiters, and supporters for coming together to recognize the excellence of the United States military. May God bless you, and may God forever bless the great state of Texas.
You know, that's very special to have gotten President Bush and Governor Abbott, and we thank them both for their commitment. When you put on an event like this tonight, it takes lots of volunteers and companies who help fund the events. I'd like to thank our local sponsors and donors tonight: USAA, Boeing, Vistage Worldwide Incorporated, Fiserv, and Navy Federal Credit Union, our national supporters. Parker University is our platinum sponsor. Hillwood is our silver sponsor. The Association of United States Army, North Texas, Audie Murphy Chapter, North Texas Wreaths of Honor, Lockheed Martin Missile and Fire Control, and Lockheed Martin Aeronautics, Airbus and Crimpton Solutions, our brass sponsors, Arlington Elks Lodge, Products Unlimited, Air and Space Forces Association, Dallas Navy League, Credit Union of Texas, Truist, Hancock Whitney Bank, and the National Defense Briefing Series are all bronze sponsors. Multiple donors tonight include the following: RPC, Pepsi-Cola, Frito-Lay, Military Order of the World Wars, plus numerous individuals that we would also like to thank tonight. They are all listed in your respective programs. So let's put our hands together and thank them all for their kindness and generosity. Now, for those who do not know, the Medal of Honor Museum Foundation chose Arlington, Texas, as its location for the new National Medal of Honor Museum. We have been fortunate to have a message from one of only 64 living recipients of the Medal of Honor, Captain Florent, better known as Flo, Groberg, U.S. Army, retired. Let me tell you a little something about this very, very special man. Captain Groberg distinguished himself by acts of gallantry at the risk of his own life, above and beyond the call of duty, while serving as a personal security detachment commander for Task Force Mountain Warrior, 4th Infantry Brigade Combat Team, 4th Infantry Division during combat operations against an armed enemy in Kunar Province in Afghanistan back on August 8th of 2012. On that day, if you will with me, think back, Captain Groberg was leading a dismounted movement consisting of several senior leaders to include 2 brigade commanders, 2 battalion commanders, 2 command sergeant majors, and an Afghanistan National Army Brigade commander. As they approached the provincial governor's compound, Captain Groberg observed an individual walking close to the formation. And while the individual made an abrupt turn towards the formation, he also noticed an abnormal bulge underneath the individual's clothing. Selflessly placing himself in front of one of the brigade's commanders, Captain Groberg rushed forward using his own body to push the suspect away from the formation. Simultaneously, he ordered another member of the security detail to assist with removing the suspect. At this time, Captain Groberg confirmed the bulge was a suicide vest. And with complete disregard for his own life, Captain Groberg, again with the assistance of the other member of the security detail, physically pushed the suicide bomber away from the entire formation. Upon falling, the suicide bomber detonated his explosive vest outside of the perimeter of the formation, killing no less than 4 members of the formation and wounding numerous others. The blast from the first suicide bomb caused the suicide vest of a previously unnoticed second suicide bomber to detonate prematurely, with minimal impact on the formation. Captain Groberg's immediate actions to push the first suicide bomber away from the formation significantly minimized the impact of the coordinated suicide bomber's attack on the formation, saving the lives of his comrades and several other senior leaders. Captain Groberg's extraordinary heroism and selflessness above and beyond the call of duty, at the risk of his own life, on keeping with the highest traditions of the military service, and reflect great credit upon himself, 4th Infantry Brigade Combat Team, 4th Infantry Division, and the United States Army. Please watch the video screen.
My fellow patriots, I'm Florent Groberg, and I can tell you right now, I am just humbled and honored that I get the opportunity to share a few words with you as you embark on this incredible journey. I called you patriots because today you're about to do something incredibly special. You're about to raise your right hand and take an oath. Within this oath is commitment. Within this commitment is a journey where you're going to share incredible moments, some really proud ones, some sad ones, but memories and moments that you will remember for the rest of your life. Look to your right, look to your left, look to the front, look to the rear. These are your brothers and sisters. It is through this partnership, through this friendship, and through the work that you will do together that you will accomplish at times what will seem the impossible. I'm an immigrant, and I had the opportunity to come to this country and wear the uniform. I was honored when they gave me the opportunity to go to combat with some of the finest men and women. And today, you probably see this ribbon here and the Medal of Honor. I promise you one thing. The only reason why I am on this earth able to share this moment with you today, it is because of those men and women that I got to serve with. They never took the easy way out. They never allowed complacency to come in. They understood what it meant to be a teammate. And at times, they put their lives over and over on the line to make sure that we all came home. You are our greatest treasure. You've probably heard it before. But you truly are, because you're doing something that is incredible. You're willing to serve. You're willing to serve your nation. I am so proud that I get to play a small part at the start of your journey. But I am also here to remind you of the responsibility. The responsibility of honoring that uniform when you earn it. The responsibility of doing the right thing when no one's watching. The responsibility of living your life with integrity, with honor, and with sacrifice. Like I mentioned earlier, the greatest honor I've ever had in my life was the ability to wear the uniform and serve our nation in a time of war. Every single day, I wake up with the memories of my friends who didn't come home. But every single day, I have an opportunity to honor them and their families. It is an honor to join you on this day of celebration. This is a day for America that I considered a win, because you are the best of the best because of what you're willing to do for us. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. And God bless all of our troops serving at home and overseas. Congratulations.
We are certainly most honored that Captain Groberg was able to make the presentation that we just shared with you. So we certainly thank him for his service and his commitment, and the Medal of Honor Museum for all that they do to honor our country. And this is not in my script, but I might say to you all, we are most fortunate that it is right here in our backyard. The National Medal of Honor Museum in Arlington. It's right next to the ballpark. It's right next to AT&T Stadium where your Cowboys get a chance to play. It's really something. And of course, they've got the Grand Prix, Indy racing, going to be there this Sunday afternoon, going right around this building. It's really something. So if you get a chance, I assure you, you'll never forget the trip that you go to Arlington and see and visit the Medal of Honor Museum. It is above and beyond. And you get a chance to see something that I'm sure you'll never, ever be a part of again. That said and done, at this time, we're going to present the 2026 STEM Award for Dallas. This award will be presented to the high school teacher, educator, and administrator who best supports and exemplifies everything that really needs to be done every single day. The best supporting of students in exploring the STEM-related career choices in high school. So, ladies and gentlemen, our 2026 STEM Award for Dallas Award recipient is Alex Wallace. Now, coming up on the stage to present the STEM Award is Army Dallas Recruiting Executive Officer Major Evan Cochran and Sergeant First Class Elijah Maccabee.
So I just wanted to say thank you to our community salutes. Thank you for everything that you do for the veteran community. I also wanted to thank my family over there, my wife Faith and 3 daughters, Hannah, Alice, and Millie. Thank you for your contributions to our family. They made sacrifices as well. And thank you for this award. I appreciate it.
And now we're going to present the General Colin Powell Award for Dallas. This award will be presented to the high school guidance counselor, educator, administrator who best supports young adults desiring to serve in the U.S. Armed Forces following graduation from high school. Finding a teacher who impacts and transforms the lives of students in and out of the classroom is most rare. So, ladies and gentlemen, our 2026 General Colin Powell Dallas Award recipient is Tamara Whitfield. Coming up to the stage to present the Colin Powell Award is Army Dallas Recruiting Executive Officer Major Evan Cochran and Staff Sergeant Canellis. Tamara Whitfield is an experienced and dedicated educational professional who currently serves as the lead counselor at Nimitz High School. And with 29 years, yes, almost 3 decades in education, including 22 years as a high school counselor, she has devoted her career to supporting students academically, personally, and with career development. Throughout her tenure in education, she has played an integral role in fostering student success and promoting college and career readiness. And as a member of her campus leadership team, she collaborates with administrators and faculty to develop programs and initiatives that enhance the educational experience for all students. She also contributes her expertise to 3 career and technical education advisory boards, helping to strengthen connections between education and workforce opportunities. And in addition to her professional responsibilities, Tamara sponsors a girls' club on campus where she mentors and empowers young women to build confidence, leadership skills, and a vision for their future. Ladies and gentlemen, Tamara Whitfield, congratulations. Would you like to say something?
Hi, good evening. Thank you so much for this award. I was kind of surprised when I was given it. I also want to thank my family at the table, my husband, Joe Whitfield, my mom, and my brother were able to come, and my brother is also a veteran. I have 2 brothers that were veteran Army, so this was really a surprise and I was very excited to be able to be nominated by Staff Sergeant, let me make sure I get it right, Staff Sergeant John Canales for this award, and I see many other recruiters in the room that I've had the privilege of working with, knowing that our students, college may not be for them, but I'm very open to the proponent of knowing that whatever is best for the students and giving them the history or the background that they need. And so military, for me, coming from a military family, I salute all of you guys who that are going to serve as well. It's an honor every day to see you guys in the buildings and at the schools willing to step up. So again, thank you for this award for the community. Our community salute, to make sure I get it right. So thank you so much.
Now, I called you a Tamara. Is it Tamara or Tamara? Yeah, because I've seen the spelling, and I've heard Tamara, I've heard Tamara. But whatever it is, all the applause that you hear right now is for you, my friend. So thank you for all you continue to do for the youth of America. Long before I spent decades in television, I was 15 days away from going to Duke, to medical school, when I was all of 20 years old, to become a pediatrician. So anytime I see somebody like Tamara and all she continues to do for the youth of our country and our schools, I'm above and beyond. I'm right there with her. So congratulations to both of our recipients. We're now going to honor our enlistees and our poolees. And what we're going to do is recognize each service's enlistee or poolees in the order of service by the date the service itself was founded. So what I'd like to do first of all is I'd like to have all the Army enlistees to assemble to your right side, would be my left side, right over there, and have the Navy enlistees line up just behind them so that we're all ready to go and we can keep this moving as great as we can. All right? So we're going to start with the Army. And we'd like to recognize the Army service members from Dallas by having them come across the stage as their name is announced. As they finish with each enlistee, poolee, or guardian, we would like them to remain on the stage after they come up here as a group, off to the side and at the back of the stage, and we're going to have a group photo once we're done with each service. Taking the stage first up is going to be Major Evan Cochran. Major Cochran enlisted in the Army on August 4th of 2010, graduated from the U.S. Army Officer Candidate School on March 3rd of 2011. He was commissioned as an infantry officer where he served with the 11th Armored Cavalry Regiment at Fort Irwin, California. And upon his promotion to captain, he switched branches from infantry to Signal Corps, and he became the commander of the Vancouver Recruiting Company. Currently, at this day, he is serving as the Battalion Executive Officer, Dallas-Fort Worth Recruiting Battalion. So, are you ready, my friend? Okay, I'm going to step aside and you take it away.
Private Asante. Private Kanaka. Private Davila. Private Diga. Private Garza. Private Guerrera. Private Hernandez. Private Limon. Private McCartney. Private Myers. Private Oseriton. Private Romero. Private Sampson. And last but not least, Private Soler.
All right, I tell you what, you want to assemble everybody out here and we'll get one quick picture of everybody, get a group shot, and we'll find out from the photogs how they, maybe, can you get everybody in there? Or do you want some down on their knee down in front? How's that? Does that work right there? Got it? How about a nice round of applause for the Army Dallas service members? Well, the Navy is on deck, but what I'd like to do right now is get the Marine Corps poolees to assemble to your right side. Again, my left side, right over there, behind the Navy enlistees, and we'll be all ready to go. By the way, before we move on, I love these. They always give me a couple of fun facts to share. Do you know that the Army, believe it or not, has more boats and boat commanders than the U.S. Navy? Don't ask me why. They just put it here in front of me, but I thought that was rather amusing. Right now, what we're going to do is get Commander Jason Blinkens, is a native of Clark Summit, Pennsylvania, have him come forward. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Business Management and a Master of Business Administration from the University of Arkansas. He joined the Naval Service back in 1992 and earned the commission through the Limited Duty Officer Program. Commander reported as Executive Officer, Navy Talent Acquisition Group, Red River in Dallas, Texas, just less than a year ago, back in July of 2025. So we're delighted to welcome you to the great state of Texas. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your service. This is Commander Blinkens. Let's put our hands together as he announces all of our Navy Dallas members. You want to do this? Who's announcing? Oh, she's coming up. Well, my goodness gracious, I don't have your name here. So you are?
I am Petty Officer Gilly.
Well, I don't have this. I'm sorry, my dear. But thank you for your service. Are you going to announce everybody's name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, take it away.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to present our finest future sailors momentarily. Thank you. Future Sailor Cardinal. Future Sailor Sykes.
Good-looking group. Let's put our hands together and thank the Navy Dallas. All right, now we're going to move on. I want the Coast Guard enlistees to assemble to your right side behind the Marine Corps. Poolees, you've got a long list of, gosh, we're going to be here till next Thursday. Lots of Marines here to tell you about. But we're going to take in the podium shortly is Captain Tyler Vaughn. Captain Tyler Vaughn enlisted into the United States Marine Corps Reserves back on the 19th of May in 2009. And upon obtaining his bachelor's degree in 2014, he assessed to the active reserves and was stationed at Camp Pendleton in California, served as an administrative non-commissioned officer for Unmanned Aerial Vehicle Squadron. And then in 2017, Corporal Vaughn was accepted into the enlisted to commissioning program, and on the 18th of November 2017 was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Marine Corps. He then went on to Quantico, Virginia, to the Officer Basic School. Let's see, then in 2022, so 4 years ago, First Lieutenant Vaughn received orders to serve as the adjutant for Wounded Warrior Battalion East aboard Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, aiding in the rehabilitation and the transitioning of the most severe wounded, injured, and ill service members. In 2023, Captain Vaughn served orders and received orders to his current command, where he serves as the Executive Officer for Recruiting Station Dallas. So let's welcome the captain up here right now, Tyler Vaughn, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening, everyone. Just real quick, I love to see the sea of red. Hey, I know we are the few and the proud, but tonight we are the many. All right? Hey, for my future Marines, can I get a hoorah? That's what I'm talking about. All right. First up, you get Poolee Acevedo. Poolee Beverly. Poolee Brainerd. Poolee Brewer. Poolee Branch. Poolee Browder. Poolee Bryant. Poolee Karen. Poolee Castaneda. Poolee Chavez. Puli Kobosamora. Puli Coronado. Puli Caruso. Puli Corret Perez. Puli Deal. Puli Esperanza. Puli Faustino. Puli Fitzpatrick. Puli Flores. Puli Gallegos Somos. Puli Ivan Gonzalez. Puli Jose Gonzalez. Puli Mauricio Gonzalez. Puli Humberto Hernandez. Puli Victor Hernandez. Puli Holloway. Puli Izagara. Puli Jensen. Puli Cahindo. Poolee Lee. Poolee Lopez. Poolee Marquez. Poolee McKinnon. Poolee Mendez. Poolee Mo. Poolee Morales Hernandez. Poolee Nishon. Poolee Alvera. Poolee Palacios. Poolee Pearson. Poolee Perkins. Poolee Pereda. Poolee Prothero. Poolee Robertson. Poolee Tanajara. Poolee Thang. Poolee Tyler. Poolee John Vasquez. Poolee Joshua Vasquez. Poolee Elvin Velasquez. Poolee Andrew Velasquez Rico. Poolee White. Poolee Wilson. Poolee Woodson Jolly. Poolee Zamora Duban. Poolee Pineda.
Well, hello. You're still here. How about the Marines, huh? Let's put a nice hands for the Marine Corps of Dallas. And I'm going to check with our photographer. How do you want to assemble them? We'll put them back up on the stage now. How do you want to do the picture, the group picture? You want some down in front or all up here? You want some in front of the monitors down there? Yeah. I tell you what, let's all here, let's go back and take like the last 4 or 5 rows, like right there. Why don't you start and come right up in the front here, and all the rest of you come on back up on the stage, okay? We're going to get a group picture of everybody. So do this as quickly and efficiently as we can. And well, the Marines follow orders pretty well, don't they? All right. Congratulations to you all. We're delighted to have you on board this afternoon, this evening. If we've got, I see some of the girls are a little shorter. Ladies, if you'd like to get up in the front, let's get some of the women, if you want to go forward. Oh, that's great. Here, go on up in here. Okay. Oh, that's great. says on the back of all these shirts, the Marines, the few, the proud. Well, we have more than the few here today, huh? Thanks to you all. Delighted to have you here. One final time, let's give it up for the Marine Corps Dallas. And we're just as excited to welcome the Air Force as well. Air Force is up next, and the Space Force. And they're going to be behind the Coast Guard. Coast Guard's going to be up next. Then we got the Air Force and the Space Force directly behind them. And I've just been given another fun fact. We told you earlier that the Army has more boats than the Navy. Well, listen to this one. The Navy has more airplanes and pilots than the Air Force. Go figure, but that's interesting. So we want to recognize the Coast Guard service members from Dallas by having them come across the stage as their name is announced. Taking the podium is going to be Talent Acquisition First Class. Isham is a native of Dallas, Texas. Talent Acquisition First Class, attended Norfolk State University, where she played Division I volleyball and earned a Bachelor of Science degree in interdisciplinary studies with concentrations in health, fitness, and physical education. She's currently assigned to Recruiting Office Dallas, where she serves as a Coast Guard recruiter, supporting accession goals and community outreach efforts throughout the region. So Ariella Isham. Did I get that right? What is it now? Aurelia, not Ariella. Aurelia Isham. We're delighted to have you, and thank you for your service so much.
Thank you.
All right, take it away. It's all yours.
Thank you. Good evening. Tonight we're going to recognize our future Coast Guardsmen. First, we have Seaman Recruit Lawrence. Seaman Recruit Lucas. Seaman Recruit Duffy. Seaman Recruit Randall. Seaman Recruit Vasquez. Seaman Recruit Bonish. Seaman Recruit Tennyson.
All right, for the Coast Guard Dallas, let's give it up. What do you say? All right, ladies and gentlemen, heading down the home stretch, we'd like to recognize the Air Force and Space Force service members from Dallas by having them come across the stage as their name is announced. Taking the podium is going to be Colonel Jonathan M. Artis. Colonel Artis is the commander, 369th Recruiting Group, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas. And his area of responsibility includes one Officer Accessions Recruiting Squadron, one Special Welfare Combat Support Recruiting Squadron, and 8 enlisted sessions recruiting squadrons, including 20 military entrance processing stations, 453 geographically separated recruiting officers, and, believe it or not, a $22.5 million annual budget, and over 1,000 active duty and civilian personnel dispersed throughout the United States, Caribbean, and the PACAF regions. Colonel Artis received his commission into the Acquisition Corps back in 2002 through the University of North Texas Reserve Officer Training Corps program, concurrent with a Bachelor of Applied Arts Science in Business from Midwestern State University. He assumed command on June 2025, just about 6 months ago, as the commander, 369th Recruiting Group, Air Force Recruiting Services, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas. So we're delighted to welcome the Air Force and the Space Force. Sir, if you'd like to come forward, take over here at the podium and introduce all these prospective men and women headed for the Air Force or the Space Force.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Tech Sergeant Schumpert, and I'm honored to announce our future airmen and guardians. Future Airman Austin. Future Airman Evans. Future Airman Higginson. Future Airman Jonas. Future Airman Kumfar. Future Airman Landon. Future Airman Mahia. Future Airman Mendoza. Future Airman Nava. Future Airman Nagui. Future Airman Ortiz. Future Airman Smith. Future Airman Valencia. Future Guardian Acelli. And lastly, Future Guardian Wilson.
Well, I'll tell you what, as they gather for the group picture, we've both got the Air Force and the Space Force assembled up here. So if you all want to come to the front of the stage here, and we'll get your picture taken. But in the meantime, all this applause is for all of you and the commitment you're making for our armed forces, for the Space Force and the Air Force. Let's give it up for them all. Well, it's kind of tough to see from up here. I see a lot of folks sitting down. I see some red shirts over there. So that's I guess that's some of our Marines. But what we need right now is we need all of the service members that have come up here that are committed to serving in our armed forces, despite what branch it might be. We want to include you all and have all of you stand right now because we're going to have the administering of the oath of enlistment. So coming back up to the stage and administering the oath tonight is Captain Lena Kamen. So Captain, if you'd like to make your way up to the stage and have all of, hello, it's a pretty good looking group, isn't it? This is really, really very exciting. So I'll turn it over to you. Go for it.
All right, thank you. Okay, the moment we've been waiting for. No turning back now. You've eaten dinner. You've gotten your picture taken. All right, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. And that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. Congratulations.
Thank you, Captain Kamen, and thanks to you all. Congratulations. Outstanding. This is a night you're going to remember the rest of your life. We thank you all for the commitment that you have made. Very, very, very special. I'll tell you what we're going to do right now is we are going to have each service stand along with their family members and sing their service song. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put the words from all the branches of the military. The words from each branch is going to be up on the screen. If you served in the branch of service that we have up on the screen, please stand. We're talking about the young enlistees that just did the oath of office, oath of enlistment. But we want the family members, sons, daughters, sisters, brothers, grandmothers, grandfathers, whatever it might be. Please stand and join in and all sing along. And once all the service songs are finished, that will conclude this formal portion of the program tonight. But we always like to do this before we wrap things up with some thoughts at the end. So what we're going to do is we're going to start in the same order we just did a minute ago. Have all the Army members right now please stand for the Army service song. All right, all the Army, please stand. Don't be bashful. And listen carefully and sing along. All the words going to be right up there on the screen. There you go. All right, well done, Army. Now we need the Navy members. Please stand for the Navy song. All the Navy, please stand. Take it away. All right, next up, the Marine Corps. Family and friends, go for it.
From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we will fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First we fight for rights and freedom, and to keep our honor honorably. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marines.
Well done. All right, next up, the Coast Guard. Please stand for the Coast Guard song. Take it away.
From Western shore to Arctic zone to Europe and Far East, the flag is carried by our ships in times of war and peace. And never have we struck it yet, in spite of foeman's might. We'll cheer and cruise and cheer again for showing how to fight. We're always ready for the call. We place our trust in thee. Through surf and storm and howling gale, thy shall our purpose be. Semper is our guide, our faith, our holy tomb. To fight, to save, or fight and die, like Coast Guard we are for you.
All right, thanks to the Coast Guard as we get ready to fly high with the Air Force. Take it away, Air Force.
Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they go to meet our thunder. Atom boys, give her the gun. Down we dive, starting our flame from under. All with one terrible roar. We live in flame, we will die in flame, where nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.
And last but certainly not least, let's get everybody from the Space Force to please stand and take it away, Space Force.
We're the mighty watchful eye, guardians beyond the blue, the invisible front line, for fighters brave and true. Boldly reaching into space, there's no limit to our sky, standing guard both night and day. We're the Space Force from on high.
Well, I tell you what, we have come to that part of the program where I'm going to step aside and turn it over to the good colonel to wrap things up. But before I do that, I simply want to say thanks for letting me be a part of something that is very special to me. We're going to be in Fort Worth in a couple of weeks doing much the same with our community salutes. But every year, I meet people that are so committed to just making our world a better place, our communities, our country, just who they are and what they're all about. And every one of the young men and women that I saw come up here, didn't matter whether it was the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, the Coast Guard, the Space Force, they were all committed to making a difference in the lives of those that need it most. And that's all of us that are here at home in the great country of the US of A, but we wonder what goes on in other parts of the world. And in this world, unfortunately, it's not as friendly and respectful as it should be. And every one of the people that came up here, I mean to a person, was kind, courteous, and respectful, committed to making a difference and putting their lives on the line now to make that commitment to be a part of our armed forces. They have no idea what lies ahead, but they're ready to do it for themselves, for their family, for their friends, and for people like myself that they've never even met. And to me, that's as good as it gets. I don't want to take away from what the colonel is going to do to wrap this up, but I do want to do one thing. As I saw all these students come up here, all these young men and women, and where they're about to make a move to be a part of and go forward, it made me think of my third book that just came out about a month and a half ago. Because when I speak across the country, my keynote is Leadership America, creating champions of change through a culture of civility, because we've lost the ability to be kind, courteous, and respectful. It's just so sad. It's not the world that I grew up in. And yet I saw young men and women up here that were just like the young men and women that I knew when I was their age. And it was so refreshing. These are people that just are committed to doing the very best they can do it, to make it right. And so this book that I wrote is all done in poetry. I call it Rhyme Has Reason. That's the title. And I took words like courage, commitment, character, compassion, kindness, courtesy, respect, honesty, integrity, military, religion, mother, father, faith, family, and put them all to 3-verse poems to say it's time that we got back to being kind, courteous, respectful, and move forward as leaders with incredible leadership. So before I turn it over to the colonel, I'll just say 20 seconds. And one of the 3-verse poems, this is my Leadership America creed. Think about it, what I say, and how we need to get our world back to this. It starts out, living life is not just about me. A purposeful life is all about we, sharing together all that we see, even though we might not always agree. Respectful and kind is forever key. Truthful and transparent is what we should be. Eradicating the anger and the hateful debris. Live not in a world where we need referees. So let us move forward in a place we foresee, diverse and inclusive for both he and she. Matters not religion nor race. Faith is for thee. We must live in a world that's our home of the free. I salute you all and thank you for allowing me to be a part of your special night. Now let's put our hands together for Colonel Connors. Come on up.
All right, I want to thank Scott Murray again for hosting. Give him a hand. So before we leave, I want to give you a little bit of history about myself and my dad. He enlisted as an E1 in the Army on the 14th of January, 1941, and retired from the Florida National Guard as a Brigadier General in 8 February of 1970. Never talked about World War II. After he's passed, I find out he received 2 Silver Stars, Bronze Star of Valor, 2 Purple Hearts. Who knew? Prior to in March of 1976, prior to myself going to get commissioned, I was graduating from the University of Tennessee, the original Big Orange, and as a second lieutenant. And he said, I'm going to give you some advice that helped me out during the war. Show up on time. If you're supposed to be at a place at 8, you show up at 7:45. You go to the restroom, you get your coffee, you get settled, you're there before everybody else is ready. Don't be late. Do your job. If you're the mechanic, know everything you need to know about fixing all the vehicles you have under your control. Be the expert. Don't complain. Everybody knows who's the person that complains in the unit. Don't become that person. Don't volunteer. They know where you live, and if they need you, they're going to send you orders. I know that for a fact, so I've had that done to me. But if someone in your unit asks you, hey, can you help? Your response is, where and when do you need me? If you just do those simple things, you said you'll be light years ahead of your peers. Most people don't do those 4 simple things. And, so when you go off in your career, just remember that simple advice. When in doubt, just think through that. Show up on time, do your job, don't bitch. That all makes it together. Now, he went specific in the Army when he told me, he said, wherever you go in every unit, there is someone who knows what's actually going on. And it won't be the officer. It'll be some E5, E6, somebody who actually has a finger on the pulse of that unit. Find that person, befriend them, become a part of their team, because they will let you know what's going to happen in the future that the rest of the unit doesn't know, and you can prepare in that extra time. And then people start thinking, oh, he or she knows what's going on. We like that person, and you rise up faster. When we're done today, our photos, all our stuff is going to be on our website. It'll take us probably by next week to have them put up, but go to the ocsdfwtx.org website. There's a Flickr account. Everybody's photos will be put on that, so go forth and do that. Like I said, for all the enlistees, the poolees, the Air Force people, come over and see your association. If you're a member of the Army Association, wherever you go, and I've said this before, sign up, you become a member for free. Wherever you go, there's a AUSA chapter in your state, in your area, in your fort, somewhere. They can be your mentors. They can answer your questions that you can't ask your own unit commander. But they'll have people, we got a 3-star Air Force general just floating around. He knows what's going on. Those are the people that can help you throughout your career. Most of you are going to do one tour and get out and take your GI Bill and go forth with your civilian life. But some of you end up like the chief master sergeants of the Navy or the Air Force or the sergeant major of the armies of the world, because you never know what it's going to be. And like I said, we have armies here, Marine Corps League, Air Force Association is here, Coast Guard Auxiliary, go find them. But that really concludes our night. Come and see some of our vendors if you need we've got banks, credit unions, Pfizer's here handing out cookies. There's all kinds of free gifts. Go over and say hello to them. But thank you again for coming, and everybody have a safe ride home. Thank you.